Hello and welcome to this week's No Access Required. So, Sony have just put their prices up. Again. There are plenty of news articles out there which give you the breakdown, so I suggest you just pop over and have a quick gander at those. But suffice it to say, it's a small but significant increase. And you're paying for the internet that you've already paid for in order to play their games. Why are they doing this? Could it be because they lost a chunk of cash and as a games business they're not doing particularly well, and so as a business in the round they're doing whatever they can to recoup money wherever they can? Or is this a case of tactical pricing, where there's a kind of pricing infinity loop? You see, prices are going up everywhere. The cost of a week's groceries now has never been more expensive. And companies, especially in the computer gaming hardware world, are finding that things aren't as rosy on their side of the tracks. And as such are also increasing their prices. And this isn't such a big surprise to those of us who've been paying attention to these things. It's, unfortunately, rather expected. So why in the world would Sony and other companies be, when things are so tough across the planet, raising their prices? Well, when you as a business find that your back is up against the wall, there are only two real possibilities that you can count on. One is to fold, the other is to double down. And Sony is doubling down. It's decided that in this new gaming landscape, its products and, by extension now, its services are worth more than we've been paying for them. And it appears to have made the decision that if your live services are crashing and burning all around you, then that money, that projected money that you would have gotten, has to come from somewhere. And so it's just decided, well, our projections are whatever they were, and so we must somehow edge towards those projections. But here's the thing. No one is going to pay for those services if they feel cheap, if they feel not desirable enough, if there's not enough FOMO. And so you make your product more exclusive. And the only way to make a product more exclusive, frankly, is to bump up the price. And in doing so, let everybody know that your product is expensive, but worth it. So worth it, in fact, that the price of playing games on that piece of hardware would also go up, thereby cementing the fact that once you're in, you're in. Once you've outlaid that hefty amount of cash for that console, any price that you pay attached to that console must be worth it because it costs so much. And for those of us who are already outlaid on consoles and headset peripherals, etc., well, are we really going to just stop paying? Will that expensive console just become a paperweight now? Will that expensive headset become a paperweight now? Not if you've got a PC, of course. But I don't yet have a PC. I used to have one years ago, and I was hoping to buy one now. But then things happened. And I find myself, as we're talking about here, looking at the eye-watering cost of hardware. And so prices are going up globally, and Sony has decided that it's going to take advantage of its customers just a little bit more. After all, they are worth it. And they know that if you've spent a hefty amount of cash on your console, then they've leveraged that purchase to the maximum. And so Sony, rather unceremoniously and without even so much as hiding it, have decided to bend you over. They're telling you, bend over. And they're going to make you feel every last inch as things go from bad to worse. The only way to get ourselves out of this as patrons of Sony hardware is to stop playing the game. Just as the Xbox patrons did. They started cancelling their Game Pass subscriptions, and guess what? Things changed. And so this is the point of this video. What are you going to do? Are you going to stand up for your rights, or are you going to bend over and feel every inch? Who knows? Maybe there's another hashtag waiting to be born somewhere out there in the ether. Maybe cancel Sony game subscription? It doesn't quite roll off the tongue, I know, but you get the idea. Sony are a global company, and they have all the cachet that brings. They're seen as a credible mover and shaker in the business world. But recently, they've fucked things up quite epically. The figures show it for themselves. But what they're doing in these price hikes is really beyond the pale, in my humble opinion. Sony needs to understand its position within the hierarchy of this equation, that the power still lands with us, the customer. And unless we, the customers, decide to do something about this, nothing will change. We, it seems, are being made to pay for their mistakes. And so I say to Sony, suck it up. Don't be short-sighted. A little lubrication is always preferable to a little grit. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. Do like, subscribe and share. It really would help the channel. And until next time, bye-bye.